You know, there comes a time when you can only learn so much. You can only have so many qualifications on your CV until employers start asking you how much experience you have. There's only so many self-help books that you can read before you have to get outside and apply the knowledge that you learn. And there's only so many entrepreneurial videos that you can watch on YouTube before you have to go out there and actually start a business. Mental masturbation. It's the practice of consuming content with the intent to learn and to gain insight into things that you're interested in without ever actually going and applying any of the things you learn. Addicted to watching videos all day for life advice and support. So since the pandemic, I started getting into the self-help and spiritual content niche on YouTube. This has been going on since 2020 and it started off with like 10 videos a day or so. However, around 2021, I was watching an average of 20 to 30 videos a day. 20 to 30 videos. Let's assume each video is 10 minutes long. That's 200 to 300 minutes. Let's say 200 minutes a day. What's that? Just over 3 hours? That's about 45 days in the year-long span between COVID and 2021. So this guy's basically spent over a month consuming content on self-help. And I used to make self-improvement content on this channel, more generic self-improvement content when I first started on YouTube, because that's the thing that got me into bettering myself and bettering my life and got me off of social media and content consumption. So self-help is a great thing. It's a great tool. It's a great thing to start to get your life back in order, especially in something like COVID where we all had so much time. In fact, that's where I learned about self-improvement. But there comes a point where you just basically start mentally masturbating. You act like the work that you're doing in the day is to consume content, and as long as it's on self-help or as long as it's content like this, right, then it's good. And it is good. You can consume content that's helpful to you, but you can't do it forever. There comes a point where you have to go and apply the knowledge that you learn. And one of the large tenets of self-improvement in general is that you need to be more disciplined and focused and spend less time wasting your life. And watching between 10 and 20 videos per day on YouTube is definitely a huge waste of time and is not indicative of you practicing discipline. I just feel so dependent on these videos to the point where I feel like if I delete them, I'll be missing out on vital life advice. So here's one thing I learned from being on self-improvement now myself for about 5 years, is that you can learn a lot from other YouTubers and content creators and books especially. You learn all kinds of insights and life advice and techniques to just help you throughout whatever goal it is you're trying to achieve. But the reality of it is the majority of what you learn in your life really does come from your own experience. Sure, you can take the advice and experience off of other people to help guide you or even persuade yourself to try something out, but ultimately self-experimentation is the ultimate form of knowledge acquisition. And this is called an N of 1 experiment, where the number of participants in the experiment is 1, and that is yourself. It's like if you hear someone online saying you should only eat meat and you shouldn't eat any vegetables because it can cause cancer and pesticides and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. What matters is if you go and try the carnivore diet and you think it's great, then great. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. You've done an experiment, you've taken some advice and knowledge from other people, and you've applied it to your own life. Exact same thing with self-help in general. You have to apply the stuff you learn. I'm gonna harken on about it for years to come, about how I think AI and social media and algorithms and the attention economy is one of the worst things that is currently happening to my generation and is only gonna get worse. But I can say it as much as I want, and if you don't actually take action on that and heed my advice and delete social media and employ the tactics that I have to keep yourself off of social media, then it's not actually going to help or make any difference to anyone's lives. Missing out on life advice isn't the problem. Missing out on life is. Leave your phone and watch at home and take a long walk. Couldn't agree with this more. Again, the main issue that's facing people with this problem of like video addiction, content consumption addiction, is that they basically are just reliant and dependent on a constant source of dopamine and stimulation because you're so used to overstimulating your brain your whole life. And that is leading you to miss out on life itself. Like this guy says, I'm worried I'm not going to get any good life advice if I don't watch these videos. I need to watch these videos because they're going to be so transformative in my insights and knowledge. But the reality of it is, the act of watching so many videos and getting addicted to content creators in the self-help space is that it is causing you to miss out on the very thing that you are sort of seeking self-help for, which is to live a good life, right? That's the only reason people want to improve their lives and to improve themselves. Take Hamza, for example. I used to be addicted to Hamza. In COVID, kind of a similar story to this guy. I found Hamza, got addicted to watching him, and I was coping, saying, yeah, this is just really good life advice. I'm learning so much new information here, which is true. I was learning a lot. But at the start of every video of his was an animation that lasted a couple seconds, which was fast and colourful and humorous and was full of dopamine and serotonin, and that got you hooked right at the beginning of the video as well. And that's why his channel did well. Okay, he had really good videos, I'm not gonna lie. But people were hooked on it. And before you knew it, I could easily watch 10, 20 Hamza videos a day. And what did that mean? I wasn't actually applying any of the knowledge I was learning from Hamza. I was sort of just watching him, and that was fulfilling enough to me to think, yeah, this is like good content. I'm working right now, I'm learning so much. But I would spend hours a day watching him, and I wouldn't actually apply any of the knowledge that I learned. And so it was like a coping thing. You know, I didn't want to watch brain rot, mindless content. I wanted to watch informative, helpful content. But the act of watching the content itself, because the content was addictive, was contrary to what I was trying to do, which was to improve my life, my discipline, my focus. And I thought I was doing that by watching this content, but I wasn't. And it's just another reason why you should strive for digital minimalism in your life. Again, watching this video is not gonna help you unless you actually took any of my advice, which on this channel is to get rid of social media, improve your digital health, and basically go on a digital detox is what my channel's all about. But it can be particularly nefarious with self-help content because yes, it's helpful, but binge watching self-help content like this is not helpful because it's the opposite of what we're trying to get you to do, which is to reduce the amount of content you consume and go on a dopamine detox and have a better digital relationship with your devices. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, mate. Hope you found that helpful, informative, interesting in any way, and I'll see you in the next one.